Tara, the Girl Who Lost Her Smile, A Christmas Story. It was a happy day for the people of the city, the day before Christmas. Everyone was busy doing the jobs related to Christmas with excitement. Tara, however, had an almost lousy day. Of course, if anyone asked her about her day, she would reply that she had a very, very bad day. She was returning from the school angry and upset, without wishing her friends a Merry Christmas in advance, or saying goodbye to them. She even wished in her heart that they would all turn into stinking green frogs in the middle of Christmas night. Tara growled under her breath as she sprayed snow on the sidewalk with her feet at every step. I said, let's do hopscotch, but that selfish girl quickly picked up the ball, which was full of air like her own head, and said, I say, let's do a dodgeball. After this, she tilted her mouth and mimicked her classmate. Why is it all your words? We did hopscotch last time. Then she threw the snowball in front of her feet firmly and continued. They each managed to catch the ball 10 times, and I could not catch it all. So what? If we did hopscotch, I would be the first. Another thing that made Tara so angry was when she was turning around to catch the ball, and the others were laughing at her. Someone quietly stole her snack, her favorite snack with strawberry jam. Tara could not find the thief and hand her over to the schoolmaster or take back her snack, at least. She became suspicious to her classmate sitting next to her, whose tip of her nose was full of strawberry jam, and said, You took my sandwich. Give it back. It's clear from the tip of your nose. But the slutty student, without clearing her nose, stuck out her tongue at Tara and said, I had a delicious sandwich myself, with strawberry jam. Tara's bad luck that day did not end here. One of the senior accidentally pushed her to the ground at school door. Tara's leg was submerged in a water puddle, and one of her boots was completely muddy, and now it was as if she was wearing her boots ill-matched. One was green, and the other was brown. Something like the circus clown she and her family went to watch last year. Now Tara was so angry and upset that she didn't see the biggest Christmas tree of the year in the square. She even didn't hear the sound of the canary inside the confectionery shop, which she always liked. And even worse, when she bought herself a gummy candy of her favorite fruit and put it in her mouth, she felt that it tasted like cooked cabbage. Tara arrived home as she chewed the gummy fruit candy firmly in her mouth. There she stood at the door and murmured, Oh, what a ridiculous day it was! It can't get any worse. At that moment, a black crow threw his excrement on Tara's head at the house doorstep. Tara was angry all day and did not talk to anyone. At the dinner table, all the talk was about decorating the house's Christmas tree, and no one noticed her silence. She quickly finished her dinner, which she thought was very disgusting, and went to her room without looking at the pine tree in the corner of the room. She was lying on the bed and trying to sleep when she heard her mother's voice. Mother was standing in the doorway, looking at her in the room's darkness. Honey, do you want to help us decorate the Christmas tree? No, Mom. I want to sleep, Tara replied. Her mother asked, Is everything right? Yes, I just had a lot of bad luck today. As usual, the mother raised her index finger and shook it in the air, at the same time saying, Obviously you had a bad day, but it is very useless to stay upset. Now smile so Mom can go to her work. Tara did not smile. She just turned her back on the door and said, Shut the door, Mom. I'm very sleepy. The next morning, Tara woke up to the sound of a flashing clock ringing 10 times in a row. It was 10 o'clock in the morning, and she was late for school. Her heart was pounding, her teeth was chattering, and her stomach was croaking. She was late, scared, and had not eaten breakfast. She thought to herself what answer to give to the schoolmaster. With that, she gulped in fear and hurriedly put on her school uniforms, but she did not find any clean socks. She finally put a pair of stinking socks from under her bed. As she wore the first sock, her big toe protruded from its large, big hole. She was crying when she remembered that it was holiday. She took off her socks and threw them in the corner, then jumped on her bed and wanted to smile happily. But she could not. My God, what happened? Tara could not smile. She ran in front of the mirror, pulled her lips from both sides, then opened and closed her mouth a few times. Then she pulled her lips, first with the mouth closed and then with the mouth open. But all this was useless. She sat down on the ground and said with a lump in her throat, "Where has my smile gone?" Then she walked around the room looking for her smile and found nothing. It may have fallen on the grass, she suddenly thought, right in front of the house. I was very angry with that crow there. With this in mind, she ran to the grass on front of the house and looked at the grass. But she still could not find her smile. At that moment, the neighbor's black and white cat passed by. Tara, sitting on the grass next to the fountain with her hand under her chin, said, "Oh, cat, little cat, did you not see my smile?" The cat twisted its tail, turned, and left. The crow in the tree, seeing the cat far, came to the fountain to drink water. Tara frowned and called, "Oh, crow, did you not see my smile?" The crow croaked and flew up and left. The day was a little warmer, and the sun was shining in the middle of the sky. For this reason, in the yard, the snow of the fountain was slowly melting and dripping into the pond. Tara put her hands under the cool drops of water and said, "Oh, dripping water, did you not see my smile?" Suddenly her eyes fell on the image of herself in the water. She saw that she had frowned. She tried to smile again, but the more she tried, the closer her eyebrows became and the more frowning she became. At that moment, she remembered that she had not eaten breakfast, so she returned home with the same look she had seen in the pond's water. Her brother and sister, who were 2 or 3 years older than her, were doing the final decorations for the Christmas tree so that everything would be ready for that night. As soon as her brother saw her, he called out, "Tara, if you like, come and help us. We are almost done." And when he noticed Tara's face, he said, "Oh, you frowned again. Are you again very upset about a small issue?" Then he spread his arms as wide as he could, and while trying to imitate his father's voice well, he said, "In Dad's words, a great anger for a small issue is wrong." Putting his hand close to each other to show the small size of the issue, her sister, like her mother, waved her index finger in the air, repeating her mother's usual words. "It's very useless to be angry and upset." Then they both laughed. "I know," Tara said under her breath. I know now." And she went to the kitchen. Meanwhile, her sister shouted loudly, "Strawberry jam is over! We only have bread and cheese." When Tara heard this, she felt so frowned that her eyebrows were about to change their places. She prepared a piece of bread and cheese for herself and ran to her room. In the room, biting her morsel reluctantly, she sat at the window and stared at the street. She felt that everyone was laughing. The child who hugged her doll, the children who were buying candy from a street vendor, the old woman who took a large bouquet with her, were all happy and laughing. One may not believe it, but Tara felt that even the neighbor's black and white cat passing by the window was smiling. Even the clouds in the sky formed the shape of a large, smiling mouth, and the sprinkler hose fell on the grass like a crescent-shaped smile. The mother, who had gone shopping early in the morning, was now back, and the sound of her and her siblings laughing filled the house. It was as if everything and everyone except Tara were laughing. The whole day went by like this, and Tara was only able to open her frown a little by dinner time. But whatever she did, there was no sign of her smile. God knows how much she wanted to laugh and be happy that night. She even wanted to laugh out loud at the repetitive and tasteless jokes her father used to tell every year on Christmas Eve. It could not be worse. At the time of the New Year's congratulations, everything went bad. Tara did her best to be able to smile when congratulating, but her mouth opened like a crooked rectangle, and her brother saw her face and said, "Why are you mimicking?" Embarrassed, Tara turned around and, to avoid further awkwardness, ran and hung her woolen socks over the fireplace, and as she walked to her room, she said loudly, "Good night. I want to go to bed early tonight so that Santa can give me a present sooner." In the darkness of her room, on the bed, she pulled the sheets over her head and wished she could laugh again, promising herself that if she could smile again, she would not lose her smile. On Christmas morning, as soon as Tara woke up, she pulled out her blanket and ran to the mirror. Tara was the same frowning girl in the mirror. Then she remembered that today was Christmas, and Santa had brought her a present like every year. Maybe Santa's gift could make her happy. With that thought, she left her room and hurried down the stairs to the Christmas tree. Everything was in place. The woolen socks of her and her siblings were waiting like every year by the fireplace. She took a look at her own woolen sock, which was not as fat and plump as every year. She said under her breath, "Oh, surely it is a useless gift." And with that, she became even more frustrated. She put her hand inside her sock and took out Santa's gift. First, a thin piece of paper came out. "Is that all?" Tara said angrily. And she looked into the sock again. This time she screamed with joy when she saw her gift. There was a beautiful smile in her hands that laughed at her. Tara squeezed the smile in her hands and felt its warmth. Then she opened the paper and read it. It was written on the paper, "This smile is my gift to you. Put it on your face, and from now on, be aware that whatever happens, you have to take care of your smile. This is a task." Santa Claus. Tara looked at the smile in her hands and ran to the mirror without saying anything. She put the smile on her face and first smiled the most beautiful smile in the world. Then when everyone woke up, she went to the breakfast table to say good morning to her family with a smile. From that day on, Tara never forget her duty. Every day she first smiled at herself and then smiled at the world around her. She never lost her smile again. Please like and subscribe if you liked the story.